What's up guys, it's Katie with Wild Prairie Farm and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be harvesting flowers, making bouquets, and filling up our farm stand for one of our last farm stand days of the season. We're gonna get started up at the front garden by the farm stand. This space is new to us this year. It's a 25 by 30 foot in-ground garden space. There are 5 rows of flowers and 4 paths. Last year we realized the garden space in the back just was not big enough to hold all of the flowers and all of the vegetables. So we made this space in the springtime for all of the flowers. That way when visitors came to the farm stand, they could actually see what we do here at the farm. As you can tell, this space up here is a weedy jungle mess. That's one thing I did this year that I do regret. Instead of burning holes in the weed fabric for the plants, I just lifted all of the fabric up and had no weed barrier. So because of that, the weeds overtook everything. So next year, mark it on the list. We are burning holes in the fabric, so we do not have to deal with this next year. And let that be a lesson to the impatient person, me. It's best to do it right the first time so you don't have to go back and do it again. And how many times have I told my kids that? And here I am doing it. I better practice what I preach. As I mentioned earlier, there are 5 rows of flowers, which are all summer annuals: sunflowers, zinnias, marigolds, celosia, gomphrena, and cosmos. Most of these plants stayed in for the entire season and have done pretty well and are just now starting to taper off. The sunflowers, however, are one and done. You pull the entire stem, and the first round of plants did really well. But after that, the succession plants didn't do so hot. Up here is where I lost 90% of my sunflower crop for the fall, which was pretty devastating, I have to say. The pests really went to town on this garden up front. These marigolds I have in my hand were some of my favorites this year. They're the big fat cocoa marigolds, and they really held up to all of the heat and all of the pests, and probably because they're marigolds and they're known to be pest deterrents. That's why you plant them with your vegetables. But I was very pleasantly surprised and thankful for the marigolds this season. They saved me in a pinch or two. This is my second round of zinnia plants up here in the front garden, and they are doing extremely well. They're beautiful, healthy plants. This is my first time cutting off of them. And I don't know if you've seen me wiggle the tops of the zinnia heads. That's how you tell if they're ready to harvest. If they wiggle back and forth, leave them on. If they're stiff, they're ready to harvest. Oh, the dahlias. I honestly don't know how people do it. Dahlias give me such trouble. They say they're easy to grow. I have not found that to be true in my case, but I can't give up. They are too beautiful and I love them, and I'm just gonna keep trying and figure out what works for me. I will say I need netting. I tried the corral method, that doesn't work, and so we're going to net them next year and fertilize. This dahlia I'm about to show you is called Rust Bucket, and I absolutely love it. I got it in honor of my dad because that was the name of his old truck while we were growing up. So, love you, Dad. As you can see, we've moved to the back garden space, and there is the giant 6-foot tall celosia. This celosia reseeded itself from last year, guys. I am in awe of how huge it is, how hardy it is, all of the lateral sides on it. I don't think I'll plant celosia next year. I'll just wait for them all to come up and then replant them, because that's what I did with these and it worked out great. All right, guys, we're back inside now. We're gonna work on bouquets. I always start by making the wraps first, folding them and getting the sticker on. That way we're just ready to staple them around the flowers and plop them in the buckets. If you watch my first bouquet making video, you kind of know how this goes. I just grab one variety of flower and kind of have a recipe in my mind based off of what I harvested out in the field and how much I have of everything. So we usually start with one variety and I put however many stems of that down in one pile and then another, and I usually do 2 to 4 at a time depending on my counter space. All right, friends, let's get into this bouquet making. I'm gonna zip it and we're just gonna enjoy the creative process and let the bouquets flow. It is now Saturday morning and we are up and at 'em, ready to fill the farm stand. I usually get up pretty early so I can get the stand open by 8:30 a.m. It doesn't take me long to set everything up, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So I get out the table, put the tablecloth on. I have a few old crates that I use as risers to give the product different dimension and stuff like that. And then I just work through that, make everything look nice and appealing to the eye and to the customers. This was a full farm stand day. We had a little bit of everything: flowers, produce, eggs, elderberry kits. I love when we have an overabundance and the farm stand is overflowing. Once the product is set, I'll place our signage out, which lets you know the pricing of everything, our payment options. I'll put out our clipboard that has our email sign-up list, and then I'll go place our signs out at the road that say flowers, produce, to let all of our customers know that we are officially open. Our flower stand runs on the honor system. Because I'm open Saturdays, that's usually a busy day for our family with sports and activities, and those are things I definitely don't want to miss out on. But I am out there when I can be, and I always love meeting our customers. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video of going through the process with me of opening our farm stand, from harvesting, bouquet making, to the setup. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, friends.